Hi everyone. So the topic of presentation is AI as a social technical system beyond algorithms. So a little introduction about myself before we move on to the topic. I've done my PhD from National University of Computer and Emerging Sciences, FAST, Pakistan, and I have around 6 years of academic experience and around 6 to 7 years experience as software engineer. So, what will be our learning outcomes for today's lecture? We'll define AI as a social technical system, we'll identify technical and social components, we'll explain what are the risks in AI, we'll analyze real world AI deployments, and we'll reflect on what can be a responsible AI design. So, what's the traditional view of AI? Whenever we hear the term AI, what comes to our mind? The common terms that comes to our mind is AI will be a combination of algorithms. It will be a combination of data. It will have some models. So the common misconception of AI is that suddenly we hear the term AI and we suddenly go to algorithms, data, and models. We think about terms like neural network, accuracy, big data pipelines. What we ignore is human and organizational context, which is important in AI as well. Uh, which leads to our critical question, that is, if a model is 95% accurate, should we deploy it or shouldn't we not? At this term, you will be thinking that we should deploy it's a 95% accurate model and it's giving results 95% correct at the time, all the time. So we should deploy it. But wait till further slides and then your view will be changing that we shouldn't only consider accuracy. There are other measures as well which we should take into account. So, what is a socio-technical system? A socio-technical system is a system where technology and social factors interact to produce outcomes. Technical element of the systems can be software, hardware, algorithms, and social element can be people, work, practices, policies, culture. For example, if we are making a food delivery platform, we shouldn't only consider the technology, like what technology will be used for making a mobile app, what model we can use for recommending a food. We should also consider details regarding app, riders, and customer behavior. What is the customer behavior like? For example, in which area we have a little threat, so we can alert our riders that they should maintain or they should have a sense of security while going to that area. So we can have multiple dynamics, or we can have multiple things in an AI system, not just the model accuracy and working on the data. So key insight is you have to optimize technology. If you have to optimize technology and you think it will generate you results, that doesn't matter. So what you should do is you shouldn't only work on optimizing technology. You should also work on combining technology with social practices as well. So AI as a social technical system, AI system operate with technical and social layers as well. Technical layer becomes machine learning models, data, infrastructure, interfaces. Social layers can be, or social components can be users, organization goals, regulations, trust. For example, if we are making a university chatbot, university admissions chatbot, so it affects staff workflow and student expectation as well. So if we have some misalignments, which will lead to a poor world performance. Why this social technical view matters? Ignoring context, for example, if you are ignoring some context, it will cause bias, user resistance, and legal risk as well. Technical strong, if the system is technically strong, if it is giving you 95, 98% accuracy, but if it fails to encompass social aspects, it will fail. So, for example, if you have a facial recognition which is giving you almost 100% accuracy, it might still face public backlash, like in Muslim majority areas where normally the females don't show their faces. So, if you are making a facial recognition system, so it will face a public backlash then. So, at your level, at the students which you are at level 7, so what we are to do, we are not only to evaluate real world impact, we have to evaluate real world impact along with models, metrics, and other details as well. Some examples regarding the systems which do not follow social technical system, like there was an Amazon AI recruitment tool which was made, whose job was to automate CV screening. Like you apply for a job and it will automatically shortlist you whether you are eligible for this job or not. It was trained on historical data which reflects male dominance. So the model was penalizing CVs which were indicating or the CVs of women. So the outcome of the project finally becomes the project was discontinued. So lesson learned is we only focus on models, accuracies. We don't focus on social aspects. So we have to see, like the question that was raised in our earlier slide, that if a model is 95% accurate, should we deploy it or no? So at that time, we weren't thinking about the organizational factors. Now we have to take that into account as well, and we have to make we have to make it a social technical system. For the additional reading, I have given the link as well. There was another compass algorithm which was being used by US criminal justice to predict reoffending risk. So the concerns were racial bias, lack of transparency, and high stakes use. So the questions were raised about accountability and governance, and there was a critical question or a limitation, or you can say what's uh, the end results, that should AI support decisions or not? Should that be a part of making judicial decisions or no? There's a positive example as well where we involve people or where we make AI in social technical environment like healthcare. When we make something for healthcare, it is being validated by the clinical staff, so that becomes more of a success. So if you are making or if you are including people in your AI, so that helps make you a system which is usable by the society as well. So there are some risk in social technical AI systems as well, like bias and fairness model. If you are training your data on historical data and without checking whether it supports bias or fairness or no, so that won't lead to success. It will eventually lead to failure, like the Amazon AI system. Opacity deep learning system operate as black boxes. So like whenever you are working on a deep learning model, it just gives you accuracy of 95%, or it just predicts whether this is uh, whether crime has been committed or no, or like this is a defaulter or no. So it doesn't really give you the answers why it is basically telling you this, on what factors it is telling you this. So we need to take into account those factors as well. So sometimes we face these issues because we are not including accurate data, or we are not including social factors in our data or in our models as well. So conclusion is, AI systems are social technical systems. If you want your AI system to work, they should be social technical system. Like they should have knowledge about algorithm, they should have knowledge about data, they should have knowledge about models. But like in data, if you see, the profession must consider organizational and social impact of the data as well. Like models should be designed for fairness, transparency, and human oversight as well. So whenever we are thinking of AI, we shouldn't only focus on big words like neural network models or accuracy. We should also see the data that it is trained on, whether it contains biasness, fairness, or no, and also whether it encompasses the social or organizational aspect as well or no. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for listening to me.